Let's take a look at some stories of this week's episode. Pakistan using foreign NGOs to malign India and spread disinformation. Pakistani authorities demolishes shops and homes in Gilgit-Baltistan, protest erupts. College students learn entrepreneurial skills at workshop organized in Srinagar. The craze of martial arts increases amongst the youngsters in Punch. Later, we'll have a look at this year's Losar festival celebrations in our special edition of Incredible India. There's a famous proverb that where straightforwardness has never a chance of working, crookedness flourishes. At present, it is a perfect representation of the doings of Pakistan. When it could not malign the image of its neighbouring country India with its various social media campaigns and hate speeches at international platforms, it decided to achieve its devious agenda of disseminating lies using NGOs. The Kashmiri activists have strongly condemned the trick. They have also slammed the organizations that, in the disguise of media houses, are serving the interests of Islamabad.
India, a vibrant, plural, and the largest successful democracy, is also one of the fastest growing economies of the world. The staggering statistics speak for it. In just 3 decades, from a small, dependent economy, today India is among the top 5. Thanks to its stable market, conducive atmosphere, and increasingly liberalizing business laws that countries around the world have found it to be one of the best investment destinations. But its story of success hasn't been taken in correct spirit by all. India's neighbor and its arch-rival Pakistan has been using every trick in the book to undermine its growing international stature. From its destabilizing bits in Kashmir to media propaganda, Islamabad is working overtime to somehow tarnish the image of New Delhi. And despite losing at all fronts, its machinery has been relentless. The country is spending millions to push an anti-India narrative in international political alleys. In order to appear more credible, Islamabad has now used a Brussels-based NGO to peddle lies. With a deceptive prefix of European Union, the organization blamed activists, media houses, and other private organizations of furthering pro-India sentiments. This blatant lie has received some serious backlash now. Activists are furious and have threatened the organization with legal consequences.
A report which is compiled by a private NGO based in Belgium. This NGO has nothing to do with European Parliament, European Union, or like UN Watch. This is a private NGO. This is not a NGO accredited by European Parliament, or it is using name EU. But we did our research and we didn't find that this NGO has any credibility. This is a private NGO and they have been collecting data from different websites and activities inside UN, which is widely watched on webcast and other social and print and electronic medias. The main purpose of this report is to defame genuine leadership and label every sane and active human rights defender, rights movements activist as anti-state, as foreign agents, as Indian agents.
More than a shoddy journalism, the report is an embarrassment for Pakistan, as it could not even put together its manufactured stories. Activists say that NGO is completely unaware of UN mechanism, according to which any NGO is granted the consultative status only upon the recommendation of UN Economic and Social Council Committee, which comprises of 19 member states.
EU disinfo lab report mentioned around 10 NGOs. According to them, these NGOs are supported by one group in India. Lately, I will also elaborate all these things. Though names of our NGO are not in the list, but they picked our photos from different media websites, including in this biased and baseless report to defame us. This situation is very alarming, but unfortunate for us that there is a one NGO who actually based in locally, and that she did not publish any report regarding other issues. Only 2019 and 2020, it published 2 reports, and that report also linked with India and Pakistan. So I think the intention of that report is just to defame the human rights activists, whether they are from Balochistan, whether they are from Sindh, whether they are from anybody, and those people who favored us. Google पे मतलब 10 NGO का नाम निकाल के तो उसमें जाके तो इंडिया के किसी दिल्ली के किसी शख्स के साथ उसको नथी कर दें, तो ये प्रोपेगेंडा कैंपेन है। ऐसे ही जैसे पाकिस्तान के अंदर हर जर्नलिस्ट जो थोड़ी बहुत भी एस्टेब्लिशमेंट के बारे उसको इंडियन एजेंट का दिया जाता है, तो ये तो एक प्रैक्टिस है। लिहाजा हम इस प्रैक्टिस को बरसा भर से देखते आए हैं, लेकिन इसके लिए पाकिस्तान के इन एलिगेशंस को कभी भी किसी भी फोरम ने जो है वो नहीं सीरियस लिया।
Pakistan has lost all its reputation in international arena, and since it doesn't have any possible route to make a comeback, it is desperately trying to malign India. However, it must realize that lies and propaganda can do no harm to the image of a nation that has been growing on the path of transparency and uprightness, unlike Pakistan, which has an opaque structure of policy framing and power sharing.
While Pakistan has systematically oppressed people of illegally occupied Gilgit-Baltistan for more than 7 decades, it has upped its discrimination and cruelty several folds in recent times. As a part of its land grab operation, Pakistani authorities recently demolished hundreds of shops in the region, taking away the livelihood of beleaguered people and pushing them towards darkness. These long lanes of devastation and debris are not a trail of destruction left by an earthquake, but yet another cruelty of Pakistan on the people of illegally occupied Gilgit-Baltistan. Recently, hundreds of shops were razed to the ground in the wee hours of the day in Danyor district of the region, which the locals have called a land grab operation to pave way for the China-Pakistan economic corridor. Authorities call it a drive against encroachment, but the fact that the demolition was carried out post-midnight questions authorities' defense. Locals who have now launched massive protests demand justice. They say the government must compensate them immediately.
तो 4 बजे के बाद तो चिनास और अफगानिस्तान के अंदर दहशतगर्दों के ऊपर ऑपरेशन होता है, सी पैक के ऊपर दुकानदारों का ऑपरेशन रात को 12 बजे नहीं होता है। इनके रोशनी में होना चाहिए था ऑपरेशन, ताकि मेरे मजलूम लोग अपने रजिस्टर, अपने खातों की रजिस्टर, अपने जो जरूरी चीजें थे वो संभाल सके। अब इनका सिर्फ डैमेज तो चादरें नहीं हुए, बल्कि इनके करोड़ों के रजिस्टर भी गायब हो गए हैं। हमारा कोई यहाँ धरना दे के पूरा महीना बैठने का नहीं है, हम अपने अवाम का हुकूक का दिफा करने के लिए हम यहाँ आए हैं।
Pakistan and China have been vigorously pursuing China's ambitious industrial corridor CPEC. For that, they have cleared large swathes of the territory of any form of habitation. Even the residents of few densely populated neighborhoods have been coerced into abandoning their homes. People complain no notice was served prior to acquisition. They were not even paid compensation at market rate. Media stays silent and the cruelties went on. Now, the duo is even clearing structures that are close to the roads. It is the poor bearing the brunt.
आपका रोड का एरिया जो है वो महफूज है, आसपास की नालियां आपकी महफूज है, ऊपर के स्लैब महफूज है। उससे पीछे जाके अगर कोई गरीब बंदा अपना रोजगार कमा रहा, आप उसके रोजगार को गिराते हो, उसके दुकान को गिराते हो।
The region of Gilgit-Baltistan is under Pakistan's illegal occupation for more than 7 decades, and it has plundered it ruthlessly. Islamabad tapped region's hydro resources to meet the needs of Lahore and Rawalpindi. It exploited region's tourism potential to fill its own coffers, and now it is giving away people's land to China in order to secure its favors on international platforms. Authorities in Jammu and Kashmir keep on taking a number of steps to provide skill training to the youngsters of the territory in order to turn them into self-reliant and responsible individuals. From upgrading the academic institutions in the territory to organizing seminars, the government has left no stone unturned. A recent step was taken in Srinagar, where a one-day workshop was organized to focus on the establishment of institutional innovation and incubation centers at college in the territory.
Jammu and Kashmir is all set to create an entrepreneurship culture in the territory. To achieve the same, a one-day training workshop was organized by Islamia College of Science and Commerce in Srinagar, which focused on the establishment of institutional innovation and incubation centers in the degree colleges of Jammu and Kashmir. These centers will produce skilled graduates in the territory and turn them into professional entrepreneurs.
Normally, we used to have college academic deliverance in college, and students used to run-of-the-mill students used to come out from the college. But now the scenario is changing. Higher education is thinking in a different perspective. Now we want complete personality development of students in terms of ideation, in terms of incubation, in terms of research, in terms of skill. A lot of initiatives are coming to the fore, and our commissioner is very, very sharp in these things. He is taking these new initiatives, and one of the initiatives is Institutional Incubation and Innovation Center, development of institutional incubation centers. And in that context, today we have organized a sensitization workshop for all the principals of degree college, because there are 6 hubs coming up in Kashmir division with all degree colleges as spokes.
Students
so,
are also participating.
Yes, there's a student participation, because students are the ultimate stakeholders of this initiative, and so we have brought them on board. We have made them part of the workshop.
I'm hopeful we'll be bringing across the intellectual property right people, the technology partners, the venture capitalists, and the market researchers to help our students and faculty and artisans in particular to advance their skills on the handicraft and position them as a business model. And Director Industries has also being a torch bearer on this front, and he has all the scheme to promote the sector. But promoting sector with innovation would fetch us more revenue.
Dozens of personalities, including principals and vice chancellors of different colleges, participated in the introductory event, where they spoke at length about the importance of innovation, incubation, and skill development courses. They even gave a presentation on these courses in order to provide better insight into the subject. Besides them, students working as entrepreneurs in different fields also registered their presence in the program. They appreciated the authorities for its efforts to establish such centers at colleges, as they would promote skill development and lead to better research options.
This program is about an innovation and incubation. If we are graduated from here and we go for studies for outside Kashmir, there everyone asks a question: have you done the research? Have you done an industrial tour? By this we can get in ideas. If we have an idea in ourselves, we can research on that, and basically after researching we can go in an incubator.
Once established, these institutional innovation and incubation centers will conduct a number of activities that will help in creating new income generation avenues for the youngsters. They will undertake research into the resources of the Union Territory with a view to develop deep understanding of the challenges that the territory is facing and propose solutions regarding the same. They will develop entrepreneurship by organizing activities like business plan competitions and networking events for information sharing between potential and existing entrepreneurs. These centers will also help in developing curriculum and framework for students who wish to undertake entrepreneurship. By filling a void for the availability of current best practices for perusal and application in the region, these centers will help in transforming Jammu and Kashmir from a brick economy to click economy, along with emerging as a hub of business activity in the territory.
Martial arts has gained immense popularity in Jammu and Kashmir in the recent years. Be it karate, kickboxing, wushu or any other kind of martial arts, a sizable chunk of youngsters have been showing keen interest in the sport. In Poonch district of the Union Territory, Taekwondo is catching the fancy of number of boys and girls who are choosing it over other sports.
Hundreds of young boys and girls in Poonch can be seen sweating it out at the district's indoor sports hall as they practice the most popular martial art, Taekwondo. Having become a latest craze among the children of Poonch, around 400 children have got themselves enrolled in the sport and are being trained by the experts. Many among them have already played at state level, while several others have gained recognition at national and international level.
मैंने काफ़ी टाइम से खेल रहा हूँ, तो मैंने बहुत से स्टेट लेवल खेले हैं, नेशनल पे पार्टिसिपेशन किया है, इंटरनेशनल भी खेला है और मैं ब्लैक बेल्ट होल्डर डैन 1 हूँ फ्रॉम साउथ कोरिया कुकी 1 से। और यहाँ पे आप देखा जाए तो जो टाइक्वांडो है पुंछ में बहुत ज़्यादा फ्लरिश हो गई है, बहुत ज़्यादा पॉपुलर हो गई है। अब जब से कोच साहब ने इंट्रोड्यूस किया है पुंछ में टाइक्वांडो को, तो जब स्टार्ट किया था तो 4 बच्चे थे, आज 400 बच्चे हैं रजिस्टर्ड। और इसमें जो है 100 बच्चे हैं जो स्टेट लेवल पे गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट हैं और 20 से 30 बच्चे जो SGFI स्कूल गेम फेडरेशन ऑफ इंडिया का नेशनल लगा चुके हैं और 11 बच्चे जो हैं इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे पार्टिसिपेट कर चुके हैं।
Girls in the district too are coming forward in big numbers to learn Taekwondo, a martial art characterized by its emphasis on head height kicks, jumping and spinning kicks and fast kicking techniques. They are thankful to their coach Rajendra Singh for introducing it in Poonch and encouraging them to join the sport, as it not only helps them learn self-defense techniques but also keep them fit both physically and mentally.
आज मैं यहाँ पे खड़ी हूँ तो उसकी वजह है हमारे कोच रिस्पेक्टेड राजेंद्र सर जी। उन्होंने हमें इस मौके मतलब इस अहमियत पे हमें यहाँ पे लाया है और ये सब उन्हीं की सैक्रिफाइस की वजह से है। आप देख सकते हैं कि यहाँ पे और भी स्पोर्ट्स है, लेकिन यहाँ जो टाइक्वांडो है उसमें पार्टिसिपेशन बच्चों की बहुत ज़्यादा है और ज़्यादातर की गर्ल्स, क्योंकि गर्ल्स को यहाँ पे सेल्फ डिफेंस के भी बारे में बताया जाता है।
प्रेजेंटली देखिए कि 4 ग्रुप्स में यहाँ टाइक्वांडो की प्रैक्टिस चल रही है। तो आज से 3 साल पहले हमारा जो सीमावर्ती इलाका है पुंछ, यहाँ तो लोगों को टाइकंडो पता भी नहीं था कि ये क्या चीज़ है। और मैं आपको बताता चलूँ, ये एक ओलंपिक स्पोर्ट्स है और उसके बावजूद भी लोगों को नहीं पता था। तो 3-3.5 साल पहले मैंने ये टाइकंडो यहाँ इंट्रोड्यूस की थी, तो 4 बच्चों से स्टार्ट किया था। तो आप देखेंगे कि कितना रुझान है बच्चों में। डेली के 30-40 फ़ोन आते हैं मेरे को कि हमने अपने बच्चों को ट्रेनिंग करवानी है टाइकंडो में, क्या फॉर्मेलिटीज़ में। बल्कि इतना ज़्यादा रुझान हो गया कि काफ़ी कम समय में टाइकंडो ने मतलब कि जितने भी डिसिप्लिन चलते हैं उन सबसे ज़्यादा उनको टेक ओवर कर लिया और उन सबसे ज़्यादा स्ट्रेंथ जो है टाइकंडो में हो गई है।
Martial art has a wonderful history in Jammu and Kashmir, and there are several players from the Union Territory who have attained both fame and feat at national as well as international level. Some of the new players who have joined the list in the recent years include Surya Bhanu Pratap Singh. He won bronze at the 2018 Asian Games in Jakarta, becoming the first one from the state to achieve this feat. Azmat Bibi. She won bronze in the 9th Commonwealth Karate Championship held in South Africa's Durban in under 21 individual Kumite 55 weight category. Hashim Masoor. A 6-year-old boy clinched gold in the sub-junior category at the Asian Youth Karate Championship in New Delhi, in which around 19 countries participated. And Abida Muhyiddin Baba, who is 3rd Dan Black Belt and has won around 20 gold medals at the state and national level and 3 at international level in Tang Soo Do martial art. In recent years, Jammu and Kashmir has been laying immense stress in equipping children with various forms of martial arts, either by hosting a number of tournaments or by organizing workshops. And if this continues, soon the Union Territory will be able to produce a number of martial art players for the country.
Next, we move to our section of Incredible India, where today we'll take you to witness the mesmerizing Losar festival of Ladakh that derives its roots from the 15th century. Though observed with great fervor and enthusiasm every year, this time the festival was kept a low-key affair due to the pandemic.
Nestled between the great Himalayas and Karakoram mountain ranges lies the magical mountain kingdom of Ladakh. This Buddhist land, more akin to Tibet, has a centuries-old culture that finds its expression in festivals that are often the highlight of the year. Losar festival, which is celebrated to ward off the evil spirits and mark the beginning of Buddhist New Year, is observed with much enthusiasm in the Union Territory. Many popular dishes and drinks are prepared during this festival, like the chang, a kind of beverage, and the kapsi, a cake. Held in the 11th month of Tibetan calendar, the festival lasts for 15 days, during which the religious places, including monasteries and residential houses, are illuminated and people visit the near and dear ones.
आज हमारे लद्दाखी लोसर है। लद्दाखी लोसर के अवसर पर मैं अब सबको शुभकामना देना चाहती हूँ, हैप्पी लोसर। तो मैं यही कामना करती हूँ, यही दुआ करती हूँ कि आने वाला साल हम सब के लिए अच्छा होगा, अमन होगा, शांति होगा, तो हम सब इस कोरोना से आज़ाद होगा। तो इस उम्मीद के साथ मैं एक बार फिर अब सबको हैप्पी लोसर।
This year, the festival was organized by the youth wing of Ladakh Buddhist Association. It made a symbolic celebration that began by offering prayers to Lord Buddha. Following it was the ceremony of unfurling the sacred Buddhist prayer flag Tarchin amidst ritualistic chanting before a small gathering in Chaukhang Vihar in Leh. Every year, the festival is celebrated with great pomp and show, where humorous events of deer dance and amusing battles between the king and his ministers are performed. However, this year, due to the coronavirus outbreak, authorities decided to keep the festival celebrations a low-key affair.
हम सबको पता है कि लास्ट ईयर हम यहाँ पे बहुत बड़े फंक्शन होते थे चोखा वगैरह में, इस साल नहीं मना सका क्योंकि जो हमारा जो पुराने साल है उसमें हमको कोविड की वजह से हम सब लॉकडाउन रहा। तो इस बार हमको जो लोसर है इस तरह से जो बड़े धूमधाम से मनाते थे, लेकिन इस बार नहीं मना सका। तो आने वाले नए साल में हम उम्मीद रखते हैं कि ये नया साल लद्दाखियों के लिए बहुत ही शुभ और स्पेशियस हो। तो इस पे मुबारक दिन पे मैं पूरा लद्दाख के निवासियों से को लोसर मुबारक।
In Ladakh, Losar festival is regarded as one of the most important socio-religious festival events. It started as a tradition during the supremacy of the 9th king of Tibet in the early 17th century when King Jamyang Namgyal decided to lead a war against the Baltistan forces in winter and ended up celebrating the festival in advance. People believe that the festival helps in strengthening ties between different communities, as it is usual for the Muslims and Christians of the region to visit their Buddhist friends and greet them on the occasion of the grand mythos ceremony that takes place on the last evening of Losar.
From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, India celebrates a number of festivals throughout the year, which are presentation of the country's rich culture and tradition that we shall continue to explore in our section of Incredible India. So, that's all we have for you in this week's episode. Till we see you next week, it's goodbye from the entire production team.
अरे बबलू, लॉकडाउन खुल